Ah, East Asia, home to fascinating stories and delicious cuisine. Now, we all know China, the perennial hegemon, boasting vast armies, sprawling cities, and enough gunpowder to make Guy Fawkes blush. In their quest for domination, the Chinese emperors swallowed nations like dumplings, from the Yue people in the south to the nomadic Hu in the north. Yet there was one small peninsula tucked away in the Asian northeast that remained beyond China's reach. Yes, my friends, Korea. It seems like an oddity that Korea managed to survive next to such a gargantuan neighbor for millennia, and trust me, it's not due to a lack of interest on China's part. The first Chinese invasion of Korea came as early as the Han Dynasty. Emperor Wu, after expanding China's borders to the north, south, and west, set his sights on dominating Korea. Back then, Korea wasn't a single unified country, but rather multiple smaller kingdoms vying for control over the peninsula. Thinking them weak, Emperor Wu sent forth his armies, and while he did manage to topple the kingdoms in the north, his progress quickly stalled. You see, Korea's geography is any attacker's worst nightmare. Great mountain ranges form a natural spine down and across the Korean peninsula, creating choke points and hindering the movement of large armies. These mountains were more than mere obstacles. They were the base of a sprawling network of over 2,000 Korean forts and castles. Emperor Wu's armies quickly became bogged down in protracted sieges, unable to progress deeper into Korea, and all the while they faced constant ambushes and supply line raids. Out of the 4 commanderies Han China carved out of Korea, only one survived for more than a few years, with the rest crumbling to revolt soon after Emperor Wu's death. China managed to cling to its westernmost slice of Korea for another 4 centuries, certainly an impressive feat, but ultimately lost control of it not long after the Han Dynasty disintegrated into the infamous 3 kingdoms. China didn't reunite until 581 AD, under the Sui dynasty, and pretty much its first order of business was to invade Korea again. Failing to learn from the Han Dynasty's mistakes, Emperor Wen sent over 1 million troops into the peninsula. The campaign went disastrously, and the defeat was so expensive and demoralizing that the Sui dynasty was overthrown almost immediately. The usurping Tan dynasty tried a different approach. It allied with one of the Korean kingdoms to conquer the rest. They're clever. This worked initially, but then the now unified Korea turned on its Chinese ally and eventually starved its armies out. But rather than taunting China with their de facto independence, the Koreans tried a more diplomatic approach. They voluntarily paid tribute to the Chinese emperors, sending gold and silver, precious gems and concubines, supposedly acknowledging them as superior, while maintaining independence. Of course, this wasn't always enough for the Chinese. They invaded Korea another 3 times during the 11th century, for example. Yet every time the invaders would hit a brick wall of mountain forts, and the Korean monarchs would quickly propose peace that would let the failed attackers save face. Only the Mongols were persistent enough to penetrate these defenses. It took a while, a total of 8 separate invasions over the course of nearly 30 years. But even then, the Koreans managed to negotiate a peace that left their ruling dynasty intact, by promising to aid the Mongols in their attempts at conquering Japan, which, spoiler alert, didn't go so well. The Mongols did also conquer China as well, so one could argue that China has conquered Korea for some 100-odd years. But the Mongols were Mongols, not Chinese, and they only conquered China after defeating Korea. So we here at SideQuest, like the African ostrich, have buried our head in the sand, metaphorically, and chosen to ignore it. What shouldn't arbitrarily be ignored, though, is the wonderful business management platform of our good friends at Odoo. Their all-in-one management software allows entrepreneurs such as ourselves to manage our businesses in a simple and efficient manner. With Odoo, you can not only handle everything on the day-to-day side of your business, you can also build amazing websites from scratch. The Odoo website builder has an intuitive drag-and-drop interface that doesn't require any technical skills, allowing you to create vibrant and responsive websites with minimal effort. You can easily customize and enhance your website with Unsplash, a vast library of royalty-free images, and, best of all, you can harness the power of AI to generate text and provide accurate translations. The Odoo website builder is just one of 45 applications that you can utilize to cover all of your business needs. When you join Odoo, your first application is completely free for life, whether you choose the website builder or any other app. This includes unlimited hosting and support, and if you select the website builder, Odoo will also provide you with a free custom domain for the first year. Just sign up using the link in the description and level up your business with Odoo. But anyway, the Mongols certainly didn't level up. And after they were overthrown in China, the Koreans pushed them out as well, promptly resuming tribute to the new Min dynasty. The Chinese were fine with this arrangement. By this point, they had learned their lesson that governing Korea directly wouldn't be worth its cost in blood. And that's if they could even conquer it without collapsing first, like so many other dynasties had done in the past. The Ming even helped Korea repel 2 invasions from Japan, so all that tribute actually paid dividends. But my friends, there was one final Chinese invasion which I guess we could disqualify, just as we did with the Mongols, since it wasn't actually Chinese, but rather from the Manchu people, who would later depose the Ming to form China's final imperial dynasty, the Qin. The Koreans supported the Min, even as that dynasty disintegrated, and resisted the Manchu takeover. Thus the Manchus invaded Korea twice. But both wars were short-lived, as Korea did its usual diplomatic bait and switch of offering tribute in exchange for peace. The Koreans continued paying tribute all the way to 1895, when the rising empire of Japan defeated China and began meddling in Korean affairs. In a twist of irony, it was Japan that ended up conquering Korea, not China, and it did so without waging war at all. After defeating China, the Japanese pressured Korea into becoming a protectorate in 1905. And after stationing garrison troops everywhere, they formally annexed Korea 5 years later. We won't be getting into all the tragically interesting bits after that. Those stories are for another time. But there you have it. Despite millennia of coexistence, China never truly managed to conquer Korea, thanks to its strategic geography and shrewd diplomacy. Or was it K-pop? I can never remember. My friends, I hope you enjoyed this foray into East Asian history. Make sure to leave a like and be kind and loving and constructive in the comments, and let us know what other historical adventures you'd like us to embark on. Many thanks to our wonderful patrons for their unwavering support. And as always, stay tuned for the next stubbornly unannexable episode of SideQuest.